Hi, welcome to Craft It Sweetly. I'm Diana. Thanks so much for being here. In this video, I wanted to go over the tools and supplies that are my favorite at the moment. As time passes and you do different projects, you realize that some things may not work as well, or new products come on the market that kind of help with the book folding. So with this video, I just wanted to review some of the supplies that I currently use and that are my favorite. So we'll call this the 2023 edition of my favorite tools for book folding. I'll start off. I have 10 things that I wanted to go over with you and just kind of show you why they're my favorite at the moment. Again, as you work with stuff, you realize that something may work better and this may change. But currently these are my favorite things. We'll start off with the double-sided tape. I had used other tapes before, some that required pretty much replacing the whole thing, and I don't have one on hand at the moment. I used double-sided tape that was like this, that I would kind of cut little pieces. So you may see a video or may have seen a video where I was using little pieces like this and peeling the tab off. Since then, I have come across this particular tape that I just love and I buy refills for. It's AdTech tape. And what I like about this is that the case for it you can open and then replace. So this one I ran out of. I just wanted to show you how easy it is, and that way you don't have to throw out all this plastic as well. You're just throwing out the inside part of it. So this comes out, this mechanism stays here, and then you can buy refills of 8. Whoa, I will dump all of them here in 1 second. Okay, so just take one of these. And I really like this idea of just buying the refills instead of having to buy the entire thing. Now, one other one that I've used in the past is this type of tape, and I like this for other crafting projects when I have to cover, the cardstock that's for a card. But this is a little too bulky when using it for book folding. So this case, you take one of these. This is the empty one, and you can tell because the blue is kind of at the end. This goes right in here, and you pop this closed, and you have a new, well, it would help if I didn't close the tape in it. Alright, here we go. Okay, and then with the tape, let me just get a piece of paper. And you can just apply, little pieces of what you need on it right at the corners of the page. So when you're working on this, you just apply right at the top and at the bottom. So it's easy to use, flows nicely. Haven't had any issues with it. And again, it's just, what I love most about it is that that's all I'm throwing out, not the case as well. My next favorite item is this Caterpillar, and what I love most about it is this is the Pro version of the Caterpillar. Right now, I'm not sure if you're able to get it on Amazon. It might be directly from their site. I do have links below for all these products, and on some of these I have more in-depth videos or reviews or tips and tricks on using the products that I'm mentioning in this video. So be sure to check those out in the description box. As far as the supplies, probably best is I have a link below for that as well. But I've set up an Amazon storefront. It'll be easier to just find everything there versus individual links in the description box. So what I love the most about this Caterpillar is that it has a light to it. So right there's the light, and you can tell exactly where it is on your paper. So let me tilt this a little bit. So there's the paper, and you can see that you can see through it, so you know exactly where to cut. This pattern I created with Photo Book Art, and it has the lines all the way through where you need to mark the Photo Book Art strips. So this Caterpillar obviously is for using it for your photo book art. It wouldn't work for like your traditional cut and fold and measure, mark, and fold. But for for the photo book art, this is what I love. So when you line it up, you can see, you know, if you're off, like right there, you can see that, you know, you're not right along this line. So that helps with placing right on the line. And then when you pull down on the cutter, this part moves right here. So what you do is you just apply pressure to it and cut along. I've had to replace the batteries in it. Obviously, the more you use the light, you go through the batteries more. But I've had the Caterpillar maybe a year. I can't remember exactly when I purchased it, but have not had to change the blade. And I know with your other cutters, paper cutters, you would have had to replace the blade a lot more often or more time since the purchasing. But with this, it just seems to self-sharpen itself when you run it against this side. So I like this. It also has a little drawer here. Oh, here we go. So this is the one I was talking about. This little tape, I used it in one of my videos and I recommended it at the time before I knew about AdTech, and I liked it. It's tiny, you know, easy to hold, but I couldn't find refills for it. So that was the downside on here. But I like this little drawer. You can keep your scissors and things like that in there. So definitely, you know, a great purchase. A little on the pricey side, but when you compare how much you have to replace the blades, this is excellent. Next is the book folding stand. And these stands I have available in my Etsy shop. The stand is made out of wood, and it has two arms here, which are easily adjustable with these wing nuts. Whoops. So once you press it, put it up, you tighten the wing nut. And on the bottom, right here, let me put these wing nuts down first for 1 sec, or the arms down for a second. On the bottom is where the rod is being stored for holding the pages up. So once you grab the rod, we'll loosen this back up and put the rod in on one side and the other side, and there is your book folding stand. So it makes it nice. Zoom out a little bit so you can see a little better here. Makes it nice because it has 3 different holes where you can adjust the rod to. So if you need the pages held a little higher, you would just move this rod up. And then the other thing that's nice is that this can fold, you know, if you need to hold the pages a little farther back. So meaning, you know, you have your pages here and you want to have this a little more open, then you can certainly do that this way. Otherwise, you know, you can hold it here. So this is adjustable. Just tighten the wing nuts to hold this in the position that you want. One other thing you can do is if you can get one of these non-grip mats, or grip mats, not non-grip, one of these grip mats, and place it on top of your book stand. That way the book doesn't shift anywhere, so that makes it a little harder to for the book to slide when you're working on it. But again, I like this part that you can adjust where it goes. Now the next set of tools that I wanted to show you are the rulers and guides. I'll start off with the INCRA ruler. Prior to this, I was just using a regular ruler, you know, not quite this, but this idea, you know, to mark the pages, and it had the millimeter marks and all that. Once I discovered the INCRA ruler, what I really, really loved about it is that it has these tiny, tiny holes right up here. And with the holes, all you have to do is put in, it's a 0.5 millimeter mechanical pencil. So it has to be super, super thin because the holes are really tiny right up here. And what's nice is that it has this kind of a T ruler idea to it. where it butts up against here, and then all you have to do is hold it in place and mark your book. I mean, obviously if you work with it this way, then you can work, you know, mark your pages accordingly. I mark them using the book, or holding the book with the spine away, especially with the stand. So everything is kind of upside down for me, but it's still easy to mark. It gives you the, you know, how many centimeters and millimeters to go here, and it's just really easy to use. And also if you wanted to do 2 decimal points out, then that's an option as well with the next set of holes in it. So you can see that, like if you look at it like this, you can see my hand through, because it's got all the various holes marked in here. And you know, so this is a definite game changer for your eyesight, because you don't have to try and count the lines. You just, you know, the pencil just drops into the hole, and it makes it really easy. So INCRA ruler, total, my eyes thank me every day when I use that. Now the next guide that I wanted to show you is the 180 guide that I use. It has a lip right here, so that catches the side of the book. Once the book is at 90 degrees here, it catches the book, and you can mark your pages on 8 different, on this one 2, 4, 5, I should say, not 8, on 5 different lines. So depending on how you hold the stylus, and this is the kind that I use, it's like an embossing tool, so count this as another tool that I use. This, you know, if you hold it this way, you're gonna go against this slat. If you hold it more this way, you're gonna go this way, and then each direction. So this will mark 5 different depths for your book. And again, having this 90-degree, you know, overhang here catches the edge of the book. And I have on some of these tools, I have full video tutorials, and I'll link those below next to the tool. If you want tips and tricks in using the tool, it will help watching those videos. So this is one. Now I do have one that's wider, like this. Same concept, completely the same idea. Now this one will do 9 lines, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 9. Now will you ever use the one that's, and this also has the little lip right there. Let's see if you can see it, that it catches on the edge of the page. Now the next tool is the same idea, kind of a guide like this. But, and for this, I don't have a video yet, but once I do, I will link it below. Probably, you know, either next video or the one after, I will dedicate an entire video on using this particular guide. Now, this one is for diagonal folds. And I did a video on, before I had this tool, I did a diagonal fold and was using just the regular ruler and my 180 marker for it. So if you're doing diagonal, again, I'll do an in-depth video using this. But just to kind of give you a quick overview, it's for designs where you want the image to kind of come out of the book. Whether it's, you know, this way it's coming out of the book. So that's an option for the design. Now, how much it comes out of the book, the one that I did is a lighthouse. So the base of the lighthouse was in the book, and then the tower, you know, the higher you go into up the lighthouse, basically, was more farther out in of the book. It was actually coming out of the edges of the pages. So this has, again, same idea. It has 5 different mark lines. Here, these 2, this, and this. Now, depending on how much you want the book, or your design to the angle of your design is going to dictate whether you set your marker this end or whether you use this end of the marker. This also has that lip on it, just like the other ones right there. And that helps catch the edge of the pages. So regardless of whether you use this end or this end, if it's here, it's gonna be less pronounced look to it, or less pronounced as far as it coming out. If it's here, then this is gonna be obviously farther into the book. So again, an in-depth video will be coming soon on this, but I will have this available in the Etsy shop in case you've already done some diagonal designs and you want to get the tool. So that kind of covers the various guides. When you're doing cut and fold designs, you may use an X-Acto knife, scissors. I was using a Fiskars type of scissors for a long time, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna look for something that's even pointier. With scissors, and I'm exaggerating with this one now, but you can see that it leaves a tiny, almost like a rounded tip right where it cuts. And that's because the blade is super thick. So in the process, I was looking for scissors that were extremely thin and sharp at the tip. And this, if you look at it, you cannot even see that I cut it right there. So I really like these scissors. These are my go-to scissors right now. I know they kind of look like kid scissors, and it even has a smiley face that I just noticed on here. But they're great. I love these. I'm not a fan of X-Acto knives, and I haven't actually ever used one, but to do that you'd have to get some kind of a mat or cardboard to put underneath each page, I believe. Again, I haven't tried it, but where your marks are, you would be cutting using this. I feel that I have more control over using scissors to cut along, and as long as the scissors are fine tip like these, then I'm good to go. So those are my scissors for my cut and fold designs. Put that back down. Now the next thing I wanted to show you is the paper. I know sometimes there are questions about the type of paper that I use for my designs for the photo book art. Now, obviously you don't need paper, this kind of paper, to print your designs if you're doing just cut and fold. But for photo book art, these are the papers that I've gotten lately. So they're both a premium brand. This is a 28-pound paper, and this is a 32-pound paper. Now, if you're looking at GSM as far as the weights, this is a 120 and this is a 105. I was using this for a while and I was happy with it. I prefer a heavier paper when I'm folding, just because I think it makes it a little easier to fold these into strips versus copy paper. Copy paper I find too flimsy, and then it kind of goes whatever way it wants. At least that's what I find. This is a little heavier. I know you can't tell on camera how heavy one page is versus the other, but it is slightly heavier on this one. And I thought, well, I'm not quite out of this, but I do want to try the 28-pound paper just to kind of see how this works in comparison to the 32. The end result was equal. There was no question about it. Both of them work great. I don't know that I have a preference one over the other. If you're doing combi folds, for example, on a book that has the photo art on it, then going with a slightly lighter paper like this is going to be a little easier to fold the top and bottom for it. But if you're doing just straight photo book art, this works as well. And these are for laser printers, which is what I use, but I'm sure you can get them for inkjet as well if that's what you have. Both work. I know a lot of people use inkjet, a lot of people use laser printers. Sometimes people will go to the copy store to get them printed, but again, both of them work. I just, right now I think I've been doing the 28-pound paper. This obviously is going to bulk up your book a little more than this one, once you apply all the strips. So this is the paper that I use. for the photo book art. I'll get these out of the way. And then lastly, it's not really a supply, but more a tool in creating your designs, is the Photo Book Art app. And it's photobookart.com. And what you do is there are a few tweaks that we're working on in getting the site with more options. So that's in the works. I'm not sure quite when it's ready, but in the meantime, you can get one pattern at a time basically, and it creates the pattern for you. All you have to enter is the height of the book in inches. That's very important to do. I know a lot of people, I've gotten quite a few emails. Right now it is just in inches. Eventually you'll have an option of inches or centimeters, but right now you do have to convert your centimeters to inches before entering that into the app. So height of the book in inches, and then total number of pages. Don't do any math at all. Just see how many pages you have, including any leading pages that are not numbered. And then upload your photo that is up to 2 megabytes in size. Upload that, choose whether you want to do ink saver option like this or just fill the whole strip with the pattern. And then voila, that's it. You have your pattern. You download your pattern and then you can apply the photo strip to it. So it creates the design like this, and then you just cut it and apply it to your book for your photo book art. And I have quite a few videos on those. I will not link every single one of them below, but just check out the channel for various videos and ideas on photo book art projects. So those are some of the tools at the moment that I really like for book folding. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have a tool that I haven't mentioned that you find that is amazing and works great, please feel free to comment below. I would love to learn more. Obviously, we're all kind of helping each other find great tools to help with this hobby. So please let me know in the comment section below if there's something that you prefer using versus the ones that I've mentioned. I would love to learn some other options. So again, feel free to comment below. If you have any questions about any of them, please let me know. You're welcome to join my Facebook group, comment there, or obviously comment in the comment section of this video. Hope this video gave you some ideas on tools to use for book folding. So I will see you in the next project. Thanks so much for watching.